Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew, coming at you with a bit of a spicy one today, playing Boros Soul Immolation, a new card from Lorwyn Eclipsed. It is a 5 mana, 5 mana sorcery. As an additional cost to cast the spell Blight X, X can't be greater than the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Soul Immolation deals X damage to each opponent and each creature they control. So ideally you have a creature with very high toughness and are able to wipe your opponent's board while simultaneously chunking them for quite a lot of damage. So got kind of a weird mid-range build going on here. It's essentially tokens mid-range, kind of, with an allies sub-theme. A little delirium going on. It's a kind of a pile, but here are the main ideas. So we have 4 Fear of Missing Out, 4 Invasion Reinforcements, 4 Voice of Victory, right? Get on the board early, start pressuring our opponent, with support cards like Enduring Innocence and Suki to keep a little bit of a value engine going, Tursa for a little extra haste, and discard support for FOMO. And then a couple Hakoda Selfless Commander. This is the reason we're a little bit ally sub-themed. We're not like full-on allies, but Hakoda has this line, sacrifice him, creatures you control get +0/5 and gain indestructible until end of turn. So he himself will not really benefit from this buff, but it gives a huge toughness buff to creatures you control. Very kind of actual flexible piece in this build. Helps you cast allies from the top of your deck. Gives a big toughness buff, allowing you to set up a big Soul Immolation. That's basically the idea. Gives you some protection through Boardwipes, right? Because we're a very on the board deck. Couple extra allies sprinkled through here and there, and then the additional spice that we're on, the Walls of Bossing Say. Now this is an 8-drop, but it has 30 toughness. I don't think we'll ever necessarily see this go off, but I would love to see it go off. And the idea here being, most of the time we're just going to look to discard this. It gives us artifact and creature for Delirium, for FOMO, but also we can reanimate it with our 2 Slumbering Walkers, which return a creature card with power 2 or less. Conveniently, the Walls of Bossing Say has 0 power, but 30 toughness. So if we manage to stick this and cast a Soul Immolation, we can just dome our opponent for 30, wipe their board, kill them, blah, blah, blah. We're on a mix of instants and sorceries as far as our removal goes to help support the Delirium further. 24 lands, including 4 Abandoned Air Temples and 4 Soulstone Sanctuaries. Testing out a couple Morning Tides Light as well. I'm curious for this option because essentially I envision this deck like getting on the board very quickly in the early game, and then it allows us a way to swing through for lethal, right? The not like prevent all damage until your next turn is kind of interesting. There are actually a lot of decks where that line of text is pretty relevant right now. Think like the Mightform Harmonizer combo lists. But more so I'm imagining like your opponent has a huge board and you're trying to swing through with your non-evasive creatures and you just get to exile their whole board and alpha strike them dead. So that's kind of the idea here. Sideboard, a Clarion Conqueror, 4 Soul Guide Lanterns, couple High Noons, Get Lost, Exercise, and additional Boardwipes in Split Up. I think it's kind of an interesting list, just very mid-range feel. Good chunk of removal, lots of interaction, and then sort of this, maybe you catch your opponent from out of nowhere with this combo finish. Let's hop into some ranked games, see how it plays out. I'm just going to stick to 3 for this video. Hopefully we get to do the Bossing Say thing, and yeah, I'll see you then. All right, starting out on the draw here, a little slow, but a good amount of interaction to support this. I think this is a pretty decent hand. Well, there's the Soul Immolation. Opponent leading on a Hollowed Fountain. Looks like we're against Jeskai control. I think I'm just going to jam this Voice of Victory. They won't be able to normalize it with the Hollowed Fountain plus Mountain combination. Clarion Conqueror. Okay, so not Jeskai control, perhaps. Well, we're on these Cinder Strikes. But I could just jam Suki here. Jam Suki and see if I get to untap with her. Otherwise, I get to try to just maybe I could like Blight onto the Clarion Conqueror. Or Blight 1 and then kill the Clarion Conqueror with the Cinder Strike. Yeah, that's probably better. Blighting 1 onto the Voice of Victory doesn't matter a whole lot. Still get to swing in for 2. Pass it back to you. And other than reanimating the Walls of Bossing Say, the Slumbering Walker is just going to be a pretty decent value piece for us. It hits nearly all of our creatures. It doesn't hit Hakoda, but nearly all of our creatures. Opponent doing some kind of Jeskai Flyers build. Let's just go for another Air Temple and play the Suki here. No, not going to swing in. I don't think there's an argument for swinging in necessarily, but it is an interesting idea. Keep the pressure up. Valorous Stance. Interesting. Burst Lightning. Okay, well, Graveyard is pretty set up for our Slumbering Walker now. Opponent left with 2 cards in hand. Let's just jam this. Let's go ahead and get back. Suki probably long-term has a little more value. Not sure that they're necessarily interacting a whole lot on my turn anyway. I'm wondering if the blue splash is just for like, okay, it looks like it's just for Shiko perhaps. I'm guessing this is just like Boros Dragons with a light splash for something. In this case, it appears to be Shiko. Paragon of the Way. Well, I do have a Soul Immolation in hand. If I delay it a turn, I can like activate the Abandoned Air Temple once, and then I have a 5 toughness Suki with which I can do the thing. I'm gonna swing, I guess, and then if they do block, I do just get to like Abandon Air Temple active plus Burst Lightning, but I don't really have any recourse otherwise. I also don't have double red, which I'm now realizing is a bit of a problem. Just go ahead and swing in. Nova Hellkite, and I'm dead. Not much I could do there. Not a whole lot I could do there. Ground creatures notoriously not great into flyers. Well, we could bring in High Noons to shut down the Shikos. That's kind of interesting. Definitely think I want split ups at the very least and Get Lost. Exercise seems pretty good as well. Cinder Strike is not going to have too many targets to hit outside of like the Clarion Conquerors. I guess it probably hits Momo and Sarkhan. Yeah, maybe it's a little more flexible than Burst Lightnings. Let's go down Invasion Reinforcements. Mostly just fodder for the Nova Hellkites, I think. Let's go down Morningtide's Light's interesting. I think I'm going to, in this case, rely on the split ups a little more. And then, well, we can't cut the combo. We can't cut the combo. Down a Suki. Maybe just down 2 Suki, because they're on the Valorous stances. It's kind of interesting. Try it like that. All right, game 3 on the draw. Not the strongest hand in the world. We are hitting our land drops, and we can answer a turn 1 Momo if they have it. And just lead on the Vantage here. Answer a Sarkhan. Naya. Oh, okay. Doing this little combination with the Naya, with the or Nia with the Shiko, Paragon of the Way. Play a Sanctuary, play a Voice. And then Voice of Victory is kind of a cool card with the Cinder Strike here, just being able to like blight onto the mobilized tokens if we're able to. Having to like blight onto the Voice of Victory once again, not a huge deal here. Just play a tap Sacred Foundry and start swinging in. Glory is an interesting inclusion here. I'm not sure how else they're modifying their creatures. But just like, it's kind of like a 3/3 Innkeeper's Talent, right? In a way. The Walls of Bossing Say, no! No! Let's play a tapped Abandoned Air Temple. Pass it back to you. Alright, Walls of Bossing Say. Well, we do have 6 lands. Nova Hellkite. Warped. Chunking me down to 12. Pretty good. We can fire up our Soulstone Sanctuary next turn if we want. Might just kill off my voice here. Burst Lightning on the voice. Okay. Another temple. Well, I suppose we play a temple. Fire up the Sanctuary. Just start trying to fight him back. No other form of recourse here, really. Another Magmatic Hellkite. No! What could we draw here? Morning Tide's Light would delay us a turn, but allow them to blow up more of our lands? Oh, no. Okay, alright. You know? It's really all we've got. It's really all we've got. I guess I don't have to exile them. I didn't have to exile them. It doesn't super matter because I think I have the basics to bring back. That's so funny. I might cut this. But I also might leave it in. Depends on how the rest of the matches go. So if you're seeing this footage, it means I do pretty well. Spoilers. But for now, we're losing this match, I think. I forgot I didn't have to exile them. Could just draw like a split up here. No, another Burst Lightning. All right, GG. Move on to the next one. Match number 2. On the draw. Gonna keep this. Opponent mulligans. Pretty decent opener here. I like the Tursa plus FOMO combo. Curving out, helping me hit my Delirium. Slumbering Walker, huh? Well, why don't we just go ahead and discard this Suki then? Set up the Walker for later. Turn 2 Hexing Squelcher into Howl Squad Heavy. Sweet. Block this. Morning Tide's Light could be pretty good in this matchup. Just exiles all tokens. Let's go for the Tursa. I'm going to discard this extra Tursa. And I think I'll just discard... I might as well just discard the Morning Tide's Light. I don't know. It seems pretty good. Maybe we get rid of the Burst Lightning. Just ignore their creatures. Eventually just Soul Immolation them, right? Might as well swing in for 3, I think. Seems alright to me. I guess it opens up an attack with their Owl Squad Heavy. Yeah, Morning Tide's Light looks pretty good outside of, like, me targeting all of their creatures. So maybe I should have held on to the Burst Lightning to kill the Hexing Squelcher. It's just, like, weird tech for that scenario. Kill the Goblin token. There's a Hakoda. Well, Hakoda's pretty good. Blocks their guys, helps me kind of curve out here. Informs my draw, too. Just being able to look at the top of my library. Gives me a little more info. And I don't think they can swing into me. Just go for Hakoda here. Hitting a land, that's good to know. No attacks, just pass. Voice of Victory, fine. Swing it in. I like this little combo from a Nimp Call with Howl Squad Heavy. You get a guaranteed non-gnome thing to swing in with. And a Nimp Call grows. Back to me. Let's go for the Slumbering Walker. Land on top. Yeah, let's go for the Slumbering Walker. I think it just makes sense with our curve here. No attacks quite yet. Although we're kind of like almost approaching like Morningtide's Light targeting all of their stuff, taking a big chunk of damage kind of being worth it. Until your next turn, prevent all damage, but the ward triggers will resolve first. It'd also be nice to have like Delirium online before I go for my Alpha Strike. Song of Totentons. Okay. Opponent is clearly trying to do like Warleader's Call stuff. Swinging in with some rats, I guess. Might as well. I don't know. Decides not to. Decides to. Yeah, you might as well not swing it with the rats, right? Because I'm just going to kill the rats and... I don't know. Are they swinging with a Voice of Victory as well? Interesting. Coming in hot. It's fine, but without like an anthem or anything. I'm not sure that there's much of a reason to do this. Kill off the goblins. Kill off the gnomes. The rats can't block anyway. Yeah, that looks okay to me. And Morningtide's Light doesn't say combat damage, by the way. It just says prevent all damage. So even if they do like top deck a Warleader's Call, they're not going to be able to like just kill me with it. You know what I mean? So maybe we go for this. So I'm going to take... I can just exile 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing in for 7, 11. Lethal. Great. I'm going to take a big chunk in the process, but submit 4. Autopay. Yes. Resolve them all. Yes. 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 Okay. Kill you? Hey, that's not bad. I mean, seems really good in this matchup. That's not bad. Yeah, bring in some extra Boardwipes. Maybe we don't even need the extra Boardwipes. Like, generally, as far as like the deck goes, maybe you can shift some of your sideboard weight to other matchups because we have like the main deck Morningtide's Light, Soul Immolation idea here. Obviously the Boardwipes are good against them though, so we'll just bring them all in. Let's go down. We probably don't need the Voice of Victories here. Not super likely that they'll be swinging in necessarily. Not as good defensively as FOMO. Try it like that. Game 2. On the draw. Pretty good opener. Hard to argue with this. Just lead on advantage here. Voice of Victory. Not going to be able to deal with that for a little bit. Go for the FOMO. Let's just discard this extra Suki, I think. There's a Hakoda. We've got part of the combo. Shocking Sharpshooter. Swinging in. Taking a little bit of damage from the Sharpshooter here. Long term, I wonder if it's worth it to deal with the Sharpshooter or the Voice of Victory. There's a Burst Lightning. I could just play a Suki here and bump my FOMO to a 3-power creature to be able to block either of these. But then if they play a Warleader's Call right after, it looks pretty bad for me. I could just go like Enduring Innocence now, and then next turn go Like, play a Suki, Cinder Strike, Blight onto the Enduring Innocence, trigger my Suki. That's probably pretty good. And then I think you might be able to stack the triggers in such a way to get 2 draws off of the Enduring Innocence. Because you sack the Enduring Innocence. No, I guess you're kind of doing it as part of the cost. So it won't see... No, it'll see Suki enter, right? And then you draw, and then you sack the Enduring Innocence, and it'll be back as an enchantment, and then Suki's trigger will resolve to make an ally, and you'll draw again. So pretty good sequence there for us, I think. Requisition Raid. Okay. Still not dodging my Cinder Strike, though. So we'll just take this. I am dying. I mean, that is part of this, too. I'm at 9. So we'll go Suki. I guess I could just swing in here. That's pretty good. Get a free little life bump here. And if they just block, I'll just Burst Lightning it. They take 3. I gain 3. Go for a Blight. I think I'm going to kill off the Voice of Victory here. It's just such a higher quality creature than the Shocking Sharpshooter. So kill this. Blight onto the Enduring Innocence. Stack my triggers here in such a way where the Enduring Innocence comes back first. New token, draw a card. Pretty sweet. Alright, pretty sweet. Impact Tremors, but with no Voice of Victory. Not particularly scary. Hexing Squelcher. Okay. Invasion Reinforcements. Extra draws on their turn. I think I just like... I guess I could just play the Hakoda here. I'm not going to draw off of it, but... sets me up for next turn, I suppose. I don't think I like the idea of just getting crazy and starting to shock their creatures. I could just hold up... I can't really safely hold up Kicked Burst Lightning, because I would have to shock myself to do it. I don't think that's worth it necessarily. Let's just play Hakoda. Continue to push onto the board. Let's get a second red source online for next turn. Pass it to him. I could swing in with the ally. That might be worth it. At the very least, I'd redraw. Probably a minor mistake there, but having more blockers is also kind of fine too. Okay. FOMO. With a FOMO on top. Wouldn't mind drawing a Soul Immolation. I think I kind of have to, like, Kicked Burst Lightning the Voice of Victory, right? I guess, drawing into FOMO. They swing. I take 4 damage right off the bat. Well, maybe I can just, like, play a FOMO, then play a Heroic Reinforcements on their turn for another draw. Maybe I can just, like, try to threaten to kill them here. Play a FOMO. I have Enchantment, Creature, Sorcery. I can discard one of my Burst Lightnings here, or just the extra land, I suppose. Save double Burst Lightning to just, like, go face. There's a Soul Immolation on top, actually. Am I dying next turn? I don't think so. We'll see. Swing in for... I might as well swing with both of these. Actually, I already got my redraw, so I might as well just swing in for 4 here. And they're definitely dead to this board next turn. Not on my watch. Fine. Might as well sacrifice Hakoda. Not going to be able to combo it with Soul Immolation, but I get extra triggers. Oh, I didn't get the Enduring Innocence draw, huh? Because of the Suki buffing my FOMO. So I could have accessed the Soul Immolation. Oh no, I cast the FOMO and saw that Soul Immolation was on top. Okay. Well, I'd say we're still in a pretty good position. We can, like, flash this in next turn, cast the Soul Immolation for 4 onto a token, wipe their board, and then we have a Delirium FOMO, which is usually just going to be enough to close out a game. They'll be at 13. I can, like, Flash in invasion reinforcements, draw, shock them, put them to 15, wipe their board, deal 4 to them in the process. So they'll be at 11, and I'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Super dead. I swing in with the Voice of Victory. Going for some pings. Oh, Voice of Victory means I can't cast the invasion reinforcements. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I think I just block like this. It seems kind of unlikely that... I mean, I guess they could have Lightning Helix for lethal here. If I block like this... Can I still kill them next turn? If I just cast the Soul Immolation on my ally here, that's them at 13 once again, and then me killing them or hitting them for 6 plus 4, just 10. Yeah, not thinking about the actually, if I just kill the Voice of Victory here, I get to do that, right? Okay. Back in the math again. I'm killing the Voice of Victory. It's hard to walk and talk sometimes. Kill the Voice of Victory. Flash in the invasion reinforcements. 6. I think I might as well just block. I might as well just block. There's an off chance that they just have Lightning Helix in hand, right? Flash in the invasion reinforcements. Draw a card. I mean, this is my one complaint, really, about the arena timer. Well, there's the Walls of Bossing. It's just like, sometimes, some turns, normally I'm a pretty fast player, but sometimes some turns just require a little more thought, and you actually have to do the math, you know? I just wish the timer was a little more considerate of that, and also the pressure of, like, the rope ticking down is not very helpful either. Soul Immolation. X is 4. Counters, or, yeah, Blight on the non-token creature. Immolation you for big. Get a redraw. Another Burst Lightning. Alright, we're doing it. We're doing it. Give the FOMO an extra attack. See what their last card is here. Or maybe not. GG. Fun run. Well, 1-1 so far, I suppose. They fire up the Bivouac. I'm going to go for a Burst Lightning here in case they have Lightning Helix as their last card once again. And GG. All right. 1-1 so far. Real game there. Let's try one more. All right, match 3 on the play. Finally, pretty decent hand. Double Suki can be a little awkward, but she is pretty prone to getting removed. Morningtide's Light. Interesting. Triggers the Suki, interestingly enough. So if we just go like reinforcements into Suki into Morningtide's Light, we get to like exile our invasion reinforcements if we want. I'm just going to go for the invasion reinforcements on my main phase here to play around Spell Snare, I guess. Deep Cavern Bat. Well, double Suki, pretty good here. They take the Morningtide's Light, fair enough. There's a Soul Immolation. It actually looks, it's been looking kind of good, y'all. It's been looking kind of good. Even if it's just like, because we have a Suki plus the tokens thing, like just, hey, 4 to you and all of your stuff for 5 mana. And being able to consistently do that is kind of good, right? Air Temple. I mean, I'm going to play the Mountain regardless. Gives them a little more information, I guess, but not really. Floodpit's Drowner on the Suki. Okay. We'll go swinging in. Plan to fire up this Soulstone Sanctuary. I could probably just do it right now. Play around Tishana's Tidebinder. Probably won't make a huge difference, ultimately. Swinging in. No Enduring Curiosity, no Kaito. Shuffles in the Suki. I mean, they know I have another one. I might as well just go for other Suki right now. Alternatively, I could just swing in and activate this Soulstone Sanctuary. That's also pretty good. Sorry, activate the Abandoned Air Temple. Bitter Triumph on the Sanctuary. Well, I'm going to activate the Abandoned Air Temple here. Make my guys 2/2s. Kind of committed to that line. Keeps my Suki alive, which is nice. Swinging in for 1. Kind of seems like they don't have a whole lot going on. Flitterwing Nuisance. Okay. Well, I guess we play a Suki here. Hold up this Burst Lightning. Try to swing in. Shoot the Sheriff. Okay. Swing in here. I think I'm killing the... I think I'm just going to kill the Bat, right? Because best they have is, like, invest 3 mana to draw a card next turn. It's pretty bad. Get back the Morning Tide's Light. Preventing combat damage also, like, keeps them from being able to draw cards from hitting me if they have, like, an Enduring Curiosity or a Kaito. Kind of a relevant piece of text, you know? We have this Abandoned Air Temple that we can just swing in and fire up. Another Suki. It's probably better to go for that than anything else. Plays nicely into Enduring Curiosity. It's not lethal, but we're getting kind of close with this Soul Immolation. Swing in. Bitter Triumph, paying 3 life. Going down to 2. Okay. Lethal Soul Immolation. Last card, Deep Cavern Bat. Well, they have to take... I mean, both of these are lethal now. Either they take the Soul Immolation and I kill them, and I exile their stuff, or they take the Morning Tide's Light and I kill them. But I just get to Morning Tide's Light their stuff and swing in. Wee! GG. GG. Good game. All right. Sideboard. 4 game 2. Dimir Tempo. I mean, run it back? Do we even really need any of this? Probably not. We're kind of nicely built for their shtick, I think. All right, pretty good opener. We have an answer for like an early 1-drop, as long as it's not Cecil. Just lead on a tapped Sacred Foundry then. Voice of Victory, pretty good in this matchup. Deep Cavern Bat. Yeah, they kind of just have to take the Cinder Strike, I guess. I still get to play a 2-drop either way. They take the FOMO. They're not scared of the Voice of Victory. Well, I'm going to go for the Voice of Victory. I don't know if that was some sort of psychological play. They shoot the Sheriff on the Voice of Victory. Fine. I wonder if they have, like, Spell Pierce for my dumb big sorceries. I'm just going to go for the Tersa here, I think. Nah. I'm gonna go for the Cinder Strike, leave up 2 mana, and then play the FOMO. And then if they want to... yeah, there's the Spell Pierce. Okay, I'm just going to pay for it. That's fine. 2 for 1. Or is that like a 3 for 1? That was something closer to a 3 for 1, I think. Enduring Curiosity mana. Guess we just double FOMO here. FOMO number 1. Maybe we single FOMO and then hold up invasion reinforcements to chump with. Walls of Bossing say. Well, now I kind of wish I had the other FOMO. I do have a Tersa, though. I do have a Tersa. Enduring Curiosity. Yeah, flash in my invasion reinforcements here. I think I might just plan to double block. Land. I'm just going to block here. Block with the non-token. Set up our Slumbering Walker a little better. Okay, I think I'm going to go Tersa, discard land and Walls of Bossing Say. Actually, I might as well just discard the Soul Immolation, although it's not it's like it's good when you're ahead too, kind of, right? Because the threat of it is pretty real. Something like this. Now when I attack with the Tersa here, I get to possibly cast something from my graveyard if I don't choose. I mean, anything other than Soul Immolation, really. / Bossing Say, of course. Floodpit's Drowner, their final card. Tapped Tersa. Enduring Curiosity on the field, but I have a 1/1 blocker. They have a Day of Black Sun to kill off my token. They get a draw. I have a Hakoda, though. Pretty decent draw here. Enduring Innocence. Probably better to go with the Hakoda first. Land on top. I could hold this land for a future redraw. Sorry, for like a future Tersa or FOMO. I think I'm just going to play it. Vigilance on Hakoda, kind of relevant here. This has turned into somewhat of an interesting game. Opponent is very low on resources, though. And they scoop it up. Okay, well, pretty good run. 2-1 overall. Aside from that blunder in the opening match, I'd say we had, two pretty good matches. Never did the Walls of Bossing Say thing. I don't know, maybe we just don't have enough discard to support it. And also just being on one copy, it's not like it's particularly likely to happen over the course of 3 matches anyway. I just thought it would be a fun include and something to dream about perhaps. But let me know what you think of this list. If you like this video, I'll be posting standard content pretty much every day. For the next 5 or so videos, it'll be somewhat abbreviated. I'm going to keep it at 3 matches just to get ahead a little bit on my recording schedule here. I'll be going on vacation pretty soon. So yeah, if you like this video, why don't you subscribe, come on back. I'll be posting new brews mostly every day or iterating on something old. And maybe I'll mix in a little Pioneer here and there too. So appreciate you watching. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.